Dear students, welcome to my online class. After a break of a few days, once again I am connected with you online, and my today's class is for the students of class 11 and 12. In this class, my dear students, I am going to discuss a grammatical topic from your English second paper. You know, I have already taken some classes on English second paper, and I have already discussed some grammatical items. And once again, in my today's class, I will also discuss a grammatical topic, and my today's topic is modifiers. This topic will appear in question number 9 in the exam hall. My dear students, you know, a passage or a text will be provided in the question paper with 10 gaps, and these 10 gaps should be completed by using proper modifiers as per direction given after each gap. And my dear students, modifiers, this topic is completely a new topic for you. You have no idea about this topic, and you have not studied modifiers in your school life. So it is very essential to discuss modifiers in detail for your better understanding. And it's actually a very large topic, so we may require several classes to cover the entire topic. And I think I will try my best to give you a clear conception on modifiers. And for that, I will take some classes on this topic. And today I am going to take my first class on modifiers. And in this class, I'll try to give you an introduction on modifiers. And dear students, as I usually do, I always present my class with the help of slides. And today, once again, I'm going to present my today's class on slides. So, dear students, let's move to slides. My dear students, and this is my opening slide, and you can see here in this slide my today's topic, that is modifiers. As I have already told you, this topic is completely a new one for you. You have not studied modifiers in your school life, so I'll try to take classes on modifiers so that you can understand this topic very clearly. And to cover the entire topic, I have to take several classes on this topic, that means modifiers. And in this process, my dear students, today I'm going to take my first class on modifiers. And in this class, I will give you an introduction on this topic. I will define modifiers. I will tell you different types of modifiers and what types of parts of speech are usually used as modifiers and which type of parts of speech are uh, generally modified. And all these things I will describe in my later slides. My dear students, I will take you to my next slide to start my discussion. Let's move. Here in this slide, you can see the introduction. Actually, I am trying to give an introduction on modifier. The first question that arises in our mind, what is a modifier? The term modifier originates from the verb modify, meaning to change. So, dear students, modifier actually is derived, the word modifier is derived from a verb modify. And what does the word modify means? The word modify means to change or to bring a kind of clarification. Actually, a modifier clarifies a word or an idea. It gives or it provides extra information um, about another word or an idea. If you just read these lines, the term modifier originates from the verb modify, meaning to change. So, a modifier does the function of modifying or changing. It brings a kind of change to the meaning of the word or idea it modifies. And from this description, my dear students, you must understand what a modifier actually is. A modifier is a word or a phrase, or sometimes it may even be a clause. That means uh, a, a single word, a group of words, or sometimes a clause can be used as a modifier, and it does the function of modifying or changing. It describes another word or idea. It brings a kind of change to the word or idea. So, you know what a modifier is, my dear students, from this discussion. And in this process, I would like to tell you which types of parts of speech are generally modified. As you can see, the following parts of speech are generally modified. And these parts of speech are noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. Basically, nouns and verbs are modified. But apart from these two types of parts of speech, sometimes adjectives and adverbs can also be modified. So, dear students, you see the types of words that are frequently modified. These are noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. And which type of words are used as modifiers? As you can see, the following parts of speech that are usually used as modifiers, and these are adjective, adverb, and intensifier. Adjectives are used to modify nouns. Adverbs are used to modify verbs. Apart from these two types of parts of speech, adjectives and adverbs can also be modified. And to modify an adjective or an adverb, a special types of modifier is used, and these are called intensifiers. Intensifiers are basically adverbs, but these kinds of adverbs are not used to modify a verb. These types of adverbs are used to modify another adjective or an adverb, and they are specially called intensifiers. So, my dear students, from this discussion, you must understand different types of words which are basically used as modifiers, and we find three types of words: adjectives for nouns, adverbs for verbs, and intensifiers are used to modify adjectives and adverbs. Dear students, uh, let's see different types of modifiers in my later slide. So let's move. In this slide, you can see kinds of modifiers. How many kinds of modifiers do we see in English language? Basically, we find two types of modifiers: pre-modifier and post-modifier. And what is pre-modifier? When a modifier comes before the word it modifies, called a pre-modifier. Dear students, notice it. A modifier may appear before the word it modifies, and it may also appear after the word it modifies. If the modifier comes before the word it modifies, then we call it a pre-modifier. As you can see in these following two examples, Jerry was a dutiful boy. Here in this sentence, the word dutiful actually is describing the noun boy and is functioning like a modifier. And as it takes its position before the boy, before the noun boy, so actually the boy here is being pre-modified and the word dutiful is a pre-modifier. In the same way, in a second example, an honest man is respected by all. What does the word honest function like here? Actually, the word honest is used to describe the noun man, and it is modifying the word noun man by taking its position before the noun, and, and that is why uh, honest is also a pre-modifier here in this sentence. So, dear students, pre-modifiers always come before the word they modify. Number two, post-modifier. When a modifier comes after the word it modifies, it is called a post-modifier. So, dear students, post-modifiers always come after the word they modify. As you can see in the following examples, we found the story interesting. Here, the word interesting, the underlined word. Actually, this word is used to describe the previous noun, story. How was the story? Interesting. How did we find the story? Very interesting. So, interesting is doing the function of a modifier. It is modifying the previous noun story. And as it comes after the noun, it is called post-modifier. And in the same way, in the second example, it drives slowly. The word slowly actually gives us information about the nature of its driving. How does it drive? It drives slowly. So, slowly actually modifying the verb drive. And as it comes later, that means as it comes after the verb, is also called post-modifier. And these two types of modifiers are frequently used in English language. My dear students, you should remember it. And for a better understanding of different types of modifiers, I will show you some pictures, my dear students. And I think if you look at these pictures, you will get a more clear conception regarding modifiers. So, dear students, to see the pictures, let's move forward. Look at the pictures below. I will show you some pictures here in this slide, and you should notice those pictures very carefully. Let's see the first picture. This is picture number 1. What can you see on the picture? Obviously, a flower. And if I ask you to describe the flower, what will you say? Firstly, a flower. It's a flower. And what type of flower is it? Or if I ask you, please describe the flower, what will you say? Of course, you will say red flower. So the word red here is used only to describe the noun flower. That is why the word red is a modifier, as it giving us some information about the noun. And as it is used before the noun, it is called pre-modifier. Understand, my dear students, a pre-modifier always comes before the word it modifies. And here in picture number 1, a noun, that is a flower, is being modified by the word red. So red is an example of pre-modifier. Let's see the next picture, number 2. This is number 2. And what can you see here? A bird which is flying. And and this is a bird, actually a bird, and just try to describe the bird. A flying bird. It's a flying bird. So the word flying is used to describe the bird. That means noun. That is why flying is also treated here as a modifier, and it also takes its position before the noun. It modifies. That is why it is another example of pre-modifier. Let's see one more picture. Picture number 3. And in picture number 3, you can see the face of a baby. And how does it look? It looks very excited. It's a face, and the face looks very excited. And the word excited is used to describe the nature of the face. So it is also doing the function of modifier. It actually modifies the noun face, and that is why face is also regarded as a pre-modifier, as it takes its position before the noun it modifies. So from these 3 pictures, my dear student, you can see 3 nouns, that means flower, bird, and face. These 3 nouns are modified, and these are pre-modified with some adjectives: red, flying, excited. Each time the adjectives takes their position before the nouns they modify. So nouns are basically modified with the help of adjectives, and these adjectives may appear sometimes they come before the noun they modify, and sometimes they may appear after the noun they modify. And in all these 3 pictures, we find adjectives as pre-modifiers. I will show you more pictures, and in those pictures, I will try to make you understand nouns or noun adjectives or adjective equivalent words can also be used to post-modify a noun. So to see that, let's move forward. Picture number 4. Dear students, what can you see in the picture? A gentleman standing alone, and he's standing under a tree. And if I ask you, what can you see? You can see a man. And if I ask you to describe the man, you can see a man under the tree. So the phrase under the tree, it's not a single word, it's a group of words. That means it's a phrase. But this group of words is actually modifying the noun man. And this group, that means under the tree, this group of words is used to indicating the noun man, and it is modifying the previous noun, and as it takes its position after the noun it modifies. That is why we call it a post-modifier. You see, my dear students, what a post-modifier is. A post-modifier always takes its position after the word it modifies. And here in this picture number 4, you can see the noun man is modified, and it is post-modified with a phrase that is under the tree. And as the phrase comes after the noun it modifies, it is called post-modifier. I will show one more picture. Let's see the picture. Picture number 5. It's a beautiful picture, my dear students. Just look at the picture and what you find in the picture. You can see the picture of a girl who is standing maybe in the middle of a field, and as the picture shows, she is alone. Maybe she is cutting paddy. And if I ask you about the picture, obviously it's the picture is uh, about a girl. That means in the picture we can see a girl, and just try to describe the girl. Lonely girl. So the word lonely is modifying the noun girl. Lonely girl. Lonely takes the position before the noun, it modifies. It is called what type of modifier is it, my dear students? Is it pre-modifier or post-modifier? Obviously pre-modifier, as it takes its place before the noun, it modifies. So yes, students, we can describe the picture a lonely girl. We have used a pre-modifier, that is the pre-modifier lonely. And if I ask you to give more information, to give more description about the girl, you can also add the phrase cutting paddy. We can say a lonely girl cutting paddy. And this part, that means this phrase cutting paddy, is also used to describe the noun girl. And cutting paddy uh, appears after the noun. It is also modifying the noun, but it comes after the noun. That is why this group, that means cutting paddy, can be called post-modifier. So, dear students, from picture number 5, you can understand a noun can be modified from two different angles. It can be pre-modified, it can also be post-modified. And each time the modifying word or phrases will be an adjective. Lonely, a lonely girl, here lonely is an adjective. And when we say a lonely girl cutting paddy, it's a group of words, but actually it is doing the function of an adjective. And in this way, a noun can be modified. Dear students, let's see some more pictures. Let's move forward. Picture number 1. What can you see here in this picture? It's a very nice picture, funny picture. You can see a driver wearing a long blue cap. He is driving a car. You can see some other cars also, and those cars are running very fast. All of them are overtaking the car with the driver having a long blue cap on his head, very peculiar type of hat. They all of the drivers overtaking the car. So actually, the driver with long blue cap is driving very slowly. And if I describe his car, we can say the man is driving. How is he driving? He is driving slowly. As he is driving slowly, other drivers are overtaking him easily. So the word slowly, if you look at the word slowly, what does this word do actually here in this sentence? It actually describes the nature of driving. So the word slowly actually modifies the verb drive, and it takes its position after the verb it modifies, and we can call it a post modifier. And this time, my dear students, notice it very carefully. This time the word slowly is modifying the verb, that is drive, and a verb is modified by an adverb. So slowly is an adverb as it modifies a verb. Let's see my next picture. Picture number 2. Once again, here in this picture, you can see an animated picture, and you can see some people are running, maybe in a competition, maybe in Olympic competition. And I think you have uh, identified, or you know, the man who is running first, and is Usain Bolt, the legendary speed master Usain Bolt, who won several gold medals in Olympic, and he is running very fast because he is defeating all his competitors in the competition. And if I ask you to describe the man Usain Bolt, you can say Bolt is running fast. And how is Bolt running fast? To describe the nature of his running, the word fast has been used. It is actually modifying the verb running. So fast is also an adverb which actually is modifying the verb running, and it comes after the verb it modifies. That is why fast is also an example of post-modifier. And you have also noticed, my dear students, verbs are being modified by adverbs. Adjectives are used to modify nouns, and adverbs are used to modify verbs. We have another types of modifiers, my dear students, which are called actually intensifiers. I'm not going to discuss intensifiers here in my today's class. I hope to discuss intensifiers in my later classes. And from my today's class, my dear students, I hope you have got some ideas about modifiers. You have got a definition of modifiers. You have also learned what types of words are modified and what types of words of speech are generally used as modifiers. And in my later classes, I hope to provide you with more information regarding modifiers. And from this class, you have at least learned some necessary information regarding modifiers, and I think this information will be very essential for you for the better understanding of my later classes regarding modifiers. And I hope I will join you very soon with my later classes regarding this topic. And till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.